All right, picture this. You're out running errands, you buy a coffee, and the cashier hands you some change. You shove it in your pocket, thinking nothing of it. Later, you empty your pockets and see a shiny 2013 penny. You're about to toss it in the penny jar when, boom, you remember a YouTube video you watched, maybe this one, about rare coins. So, you take a closer look, and just like that, you realize you're holding a penny worth $1.8 million. This isn't just some wild fantasy. There's a 2013 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny out there right now that's valued at nearly $2 million bucks. And today we're diving deep into why it's worth so much, how you can spot one, and most importantly, how you might have one sitting in your couch cushions right now. So, before you dump that spare change at the grocery store coin machine, stick around because this is one story you don't want to miss. The mysterious 2013 no mint Mark penny. First things first. Let's talk about what makes this penny so special. The 2013 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, you'd expect to see a little letter under the date. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no letter for Philadelphia. But this specific penny has no mint mark and a rare one-in-a-million error that makes it a collector's dream. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but I've got a bunch of pennies without a mint mark. Are they all worth a fortune? Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but no. Most 2013 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. But this one's different. So, what's the big deal? Why would someone fork over nearly $2 million for a single penny? It all comes down to a major minting error. Somewhere in the chaos of a U.S. mint production line, a small batch of 2013 pennies was struck on the wrong planchet. Meaning, instead of the usual zinc-coated copper blank, these pennies were accidentally struck on a high-value bronze planchet, the same type used decades earlier. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The U.S. Mint officially stopped using bronze for pennies back in 1982. That means any 2013 penny accidentally struck on a bronze planchet is a major mistake. And collectors? Oh, they love mistakes. Combine that with the fact that so few of these error pennies exist, and you've got a perfect storm for a record-breaking price tag. Okay, so now you're thinking, all right, I need to check my change, but what exactly am I looking for? Here's how you spot one of these million-dollar beauties. Regular 2013 pennies weigh about 2.5 grams, but the rare bronze error penny? That one tips the scale at about 3.1 grams. That tiny difference is worth millions. A regular 2013 penny is made mostly of zinc, which isn't magnetic. If you hold a magnet up to your penny and it sticks, sorry, that's not the one. If it doesn't, you might be in luck. Look for a slightly different color. The rare bronze penny has a slightly warmer, reddish-brown tone compared to the standard 2013 penny, which is more of a dull copper color. Now, before you start emptying every jar of change in your house, let me tell you a quick story about a guy who almost threw away his fortune. I know a guy. I won't say his name because, well, he still kicks himself over this, but let's call him Bob. Bob's been a casual coin collector for years, always checking his change, always on the lookout for rare finds. One day, Bob finds an old-looking penny in his drawer. He notices it feels a little different, but shrugs it off and, believe it or not, almost spins it. He literally has it in his hand, about to drop it into a vending machine for a bag of chips, when he hesitates. Something about it feels off. Long story short, he takes it home, does a little research, and boom. Turns out it's a super rare error penny worth thousands. Not quite $1.8 million, but still enough to make him rethink every single penny he's ever touched at So. There you have it, folks. The 2013 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A tiny little coin with a price tag big enough to buy a mansion, a sports car, and probably a lifetime supply of pizza. Could you have one in your pocket right now? Maybe. Will you ever look at pennies the same way again? Definitely not. Before you go, here's what I want you to do. Grab that jar of loose change. Check every 2013 penny. And if you find something that looks suspicious, get it weighed, get it tested. And who knows? You might just be holding $1 million mistake. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Hey folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change, and BM, you find a penny. No big deal, right? It's just 1 cent. But what if I told you that one lucky penny from 2006, missing a tiny little mint mark, could make you a millionaire? Yep, you heard that right. There's a 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny floating around out there that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. How do I get my hands on one of these? Well, stick with me, and I'll tell you everything you need to know about this rare penny, how it got so valuable, and how you can start checking your own change for hidden treasures. Plus, I'll share a little story about the time I almost threw away a coin worth big bucks. Trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's talk about this millionaire-making penny. What makes this penny so special? Normally, pennies made in 2006 should have a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco if it was a proof coin. But this rare beauty is missing that little letter entirely. No D, no S, nothing at all. This kind of error happens when the coin dies. The metal stamps that press the design somehow miss the mint mark engraving. It's a rare mistake, but when it happens, collectors go wild for these kinds of coins. How many of these no mint mark Lincoln pennies exist? Well, no one knows for sure. Only a handful have been confirmed, making them incredibly rare. And you know what happens when something is rare? Its value skyrockets. How this penny became worth $1.90 million. So, why is this penny worth nearly $2 million? Simple: demand. Collectors will pay insane amounts of money for rare coins, especially unique error coins like this one. The most expensive sale of this 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny happened at an auction, where heated bidding war drove the price to an unbelievable $1.90 million. Someone literally paid more than the price of a luxury home for a penny. Makes you want to start digging through your coin jar, doesn't it? All right, so now you're wondering, could I have one of these $1 million pennies sitting in my pocket right now? Pretty straightforward. Make sure it's not a different year. If you see a D or an S, sorry, no jackpot. But if it has no mint mark at all, you might be onto something. If you think you have one, don't start spending your millions just yet. You need to get it verified by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if your coin is the real deal. Now, let me tell you a little story that still haunts me to this day. A few years back, I was sorting through a roll of pennies, and I noticed one that looked a little off. It was a 1983 penny that seemed a little lighter than the others. I thought, probably nothing, and tossed it back in the pile. Fast forward a few months, I'm reading about a rare 1983 copper penny worth thousands, and my stomach drops. Could it have been the one I had? I'll never know, because I already spent it. Moral of the story? Always check your coins before spending them. One little penny, just 1 cent, can turn an ordinary person into a millionaire. The 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest and most valuable error coins ever found. And who knows? Maybe there's still another one out there waiting to be discovered. Before you go, do yourself a favor. Check your change. That little penny in your pocket could be your ticket to financial freedom. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets to share, and you don't want to miss them. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. What if I told you that a plain old penny from 2021, yep, one you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth a life-changing $3 million? Sound crazy, right? But stick around, because today we're diving into the story of the 2021 D. Lincoln penny and why one special coin is now worth millions. Now, before you go dumping your entire piggy bank onto the floor, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a gas station and I got a handful of change back. Like any coin nerd, collector, I did what I always do. I glanced at the pennies. The cashier looked at me like I had just discovered the meaning of life. "You okay?" she asked. I just smiled and said, "Oh yeah, just checking for treasure." She laughed, but what if she knew what I know now? She'd be checking her pennies. 2.so, grab your magnifying glass, maybe a strong cup of coffee, and let's break down why this penny is so valuable, how you could spot one, and what to do if you find it. First, let's talk about why a modern penny made in 2021 at the Denver Mint could be worth millions. The 2021 D. Lincoln penny that sold for a whopping $3 million had a major double die obverse error. That means the design was accidentally stamped twice, creating noticeable doubling in areas like Lincoln's eye, the date, and the word liberty. This isn't your average minor doubling. It's so extreme that even a casual collector can spot it. This coin was struck on a rare experimental planchet, meaning it wasn't made of the usual copper-plated zinc mix. Instead, it was struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, possibly a foreign coin. This kind of mix-up is super rare and instantly drives up the value. This error went unnoticed for months. The lucky person who found it? Just an average guy who was searching through his pocket change. All right, so where do you start looking? Good news, these pennies are out there. Yep, dig through that change jar. It's a treasure chest in disguise. Pennies are cheap to search through, and sometimes banks unknowingly hand out uncirculated rolls. You'd be amazed at what people sell without realizing its value. Sometimes, sellers list bulk coins without checking for errors. I once bought a whole bag of pennies from a garage sale for $5. The guy just wanted them gone. After searching through them, I found a 1972 double die penny worth $150. Not $3 million, but hey, profit is profit. All right, let's say you've got a 2021 D penny in your hand. Dramatic doubling on Lincoln's face, date, and the word liberty. A strange color or unusual weight. If it feels different or heavier, it could be struck on the wrong planchet, a missing mint mark. While most have the D for Denver, a missing mint mark on an error coin could be a jackpot. If you spot any of these, it's time to get it verified. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. The last thing you want is to sell it for $100 and later find out it was worth millions. The market value and what it means for you now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, but is every 2021 D penny worth $3 million? Not quite. The big money coin was a one-of-a-kind discovery, but other error pennies from 2021 can still fetch anywhere from $50 to $1,000 or more, depending on condition and rarity. Even a common 2021 D penny in pristine MS67 or MS68 condition can sell for $50 to $200 to the right collector. So, even if you don't hit the $3 million jackpot, you can still make some serious coin off your coins. All right, let's wrap this up. The 2021 D. Lincoln penny has proven that modern coins can be worth life-changing money. That means checking your change isn't just a fun hobby. It could be the smartest financial move you make this year. And hey, if you're anything like me, you probably just reached into your pocket to check your pennies. I get it. That's the thrill of the hunt. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button so more people can discover hidden treasures in their pocket change. And if you want more insider tips on coins worth money and smart collecting strategies, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. All right, folks, gather around because today we're talking about a single penny that could be worth $3.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A single, tiny copper penny, one you might have tossed in a jar, used to scratch a lottery ticket, or even dropped under your car seat, could be worth more than a mansion, a Ferrari, and probably your entire retirement fund combined. Now, before you go flipping over your couch cushions in a mad hunt for spare change, let's break this down. We're talking about a 1971 Lincoln penny, but not just any 1971 penny. This one has no mint mark, and it's an absolute rarity. Today, I'm going to tell you why it's so special, what makes it worth millions, and most importantly, how you can check if you have one sitting around somewhere. And hey, if you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more coin collecting secrets coming your way. You wouldn't want to accidentally spend a fortune at the gas station, would you? The story of a 1971 no mint mark penny. So, let me set the scene. It's 1971. Bell bottoms are in, Nixon is president, and gas is 36 cents a gallon. And at the U.S. Mint, thousands of pennies are rolling off the presses, except for a few that came out a little different. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia had no mint mark, while those from Denver and San Francisco had a little D or S under the date. But somehow, a small batch of these Philadelphia pennies got struck on special proof dies, the kind normally reserved for collector sets. That means these pennies have a super sharp design, a mirror-like finish, and crisp details. Way fancier than your average pocket change. Because of this mistake, they ended up in circulation instead of coin sets. Meaning, regular folks, maybe even you or your grandpa, got them in their pocket change, completely unaware they were holding a gold mine. How this penny became $1 million coin now. Let's talk about why this penny is so valuable. Most pennies from 1971 are worth, well, 1 cent. Maybe a few bucks if they're in good shape. But this specific no-mint mark proof strike is in a league of its own. Only a few of these exist, and collectors are going absolutely wild over them. In top condition, one recently sold for $3.1 million. That's right, million with an M. And you know what's crazy? This wasn't even discovered until years later. Some lucky collector probably thought, this penny looks kind of fancy, took it to a coin dealer and boom, jackpot. Imagine that. Imagine checking your old coin jar, finding a weird-looking penny, and then realizing it's worth more than a private island. I'd probably faint on the spot. All right, so how do you know if you got the 1971 no mint mark penny? It should have super sharp details and a mirror-like background. The text should be bold and crisp, almost like it's popping off the coin, that if you find something that looks promising, do not clean it. I repeat, don't try to shine it up. Collectors want original surfaces, and cleaning it could take thousands off the value. Instead, take it to a professional coin grader or a trusted dealer. And if it turns out you do have one, well, congratulations. You're now richer than you were 5 minutes ago. That when was the last time you actually checked your spare change? Because after today, you might want to take a closer look. Who knows? Maybe you're sitting on millions without even realizing it. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. I've got plenty more hidden treasure stories coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. Hey, coin lovers, imagine this. You're sorting through your pocket change, maybe grabbing some coins to pay for coffee, when, bam, you realize one of those pennies could be worth a life-changing $3.2 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A 1964 D. Lincoln penny recently sold for that insane amount. And guess what? There could be more out there just waiting to be found. Now, before you dump out your piggy bank and start inspecting every penny under a magnifying glass, let's talk about why this coin is worth so much and how you can spot one. I'll even share a personal story about the time I almost threw away a valuable penny. One of the biggest mistakes of my life grab your coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the wild world of rare pennies. All right, so let's start with the basics. The 1964 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and at first glance, it looks like any other penny. Same copper color, same Lincoln portrait, same memorial reverse. But here's the kicker, not all 1964 D pennies are created equal. The one that sold for $3.2 million had a unique error. Now, error coins are like the unicorns of the coin world. They're rare, weird, and worth a fortune. This particular penny had a double die obverse, meaning the design was stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect. And because the US Mint was producing millions of these coins, errors like this slipped through. But why is this coin worth millions? Well, it's a mix of rarity, condition, and demand. A collector with deep pockets wanted it, and that's how we got this crazy price tag. Now, let me tell you about the time I nearly lost a valuable penny. Years ago, I was rolling up change to take to the bank. You know, that moment when you think, it's just a bunch of pennies. Well, I had this one old-looking penny, and I thought, I'll check it later. Spoiler alert, I didn't. Fast forward a few months, I was reading about rare coins and saw a picture of a 1969 S double die penny worth over $50,000. It looked exactly like the one I had. My heart dropped. I ran to check my coin jar, but it was gone. Either I spent it on a candy bar or sent it off in a coin roll. To this day, I wonder if some lucky person found it and cashed in. Moral of the story, always check your change. How to identify a valuable 1964 D penny now? Let's make sure you don't make the same mistake. Look closely at Lincoln's face, the date, and the lettering. If you see a shadowy, doubled effect, you might have a winner. Some rare varieties have a repunched or misplaced mint mark. A coin in pristine condition, meaning no scratches, stains, or wear, will always be worth more. If it's still shiny, even better. Some rare 1964 D pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet. A normal penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. So if yours is way off, get it checked. Where to sell and get your coins evaluated. So, what do you do if you think you found one? Ever. Cleaning a rare coin can destroy its value faster than a kid unwrapping a piece of candy. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin and tell you its true value. If you've got a rare find, big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers can help you fetch top dollar. Being part of online forums or local coin clubs can help you stay informed about rare finds and prices. So, what's the big takeaway here? That penny sitting in your car's cup holder could be worth a fortune. You just need to take the time to check. And trust me, I've learned the hard way. Never assume a penny is just a penny. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin? Or do you have an old jar of pennies just waiting to be searched? Drop a comment below. And if you love learning about coins worth money, hit that subscribe button. I post tips, coin collecting strategies, and stories that might just help you hit the jackpot. All right, now go check your pennies. Who knows? You might be holding on to $3.2 million without even knowing it. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Imagine this, a humble 2008 penny without a mint mark, featuring the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, is now worth a staggering $3.3 million. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, before you start emptying your piggy banks, let's dive into this tale and separate fact from fiction. First things first, what's a mint mark? It's a small letter on a coin indicating where it was minted. For example, P stands for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Interestingly, coins minted in Philadelphia often lack a mint mark, so a penny without one isn't necessarily rare. In 2008, pennies without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia. These coins are quite common and typically hold their face value, just 1 cent. So, where did this $3.3 million story come from? The internet is a treasure trove of information, but not all of it is accurate. Rumors about common coins being worth millions can spread like wildfire, leading to confusion among collectors and the general public. While the 2008 no-mint mark penny isn't worth millions, some pennies are. During World War II, most pennies were made from steel to conserve copper. However, a few copper pennies were mistakenly minted in 1943. These rare coins can fetch over $500,000 at auctions. This penny features the initials of its designer, Victor David Brenner. With only 484,000 minted, it's highly sought after, with some specimens selling for more than $300,000. 1955 double die penny. A minting error caused a noticeable doubling of the date and lettering. Approximately 20,000 to 24,000 of these exist, and well-preserved ones can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Let me share a little story. A few years ago, I stumbled upon a 1943 steel penny in my pocket change. My heart raced, thinking I'd hit the jackpot with a rare copper version. After a quick magnet test, steel sticks, copper doesn't. My dreams of riches were dashed. But it was a fun reminder of the thrill of coin collecting and the stories behind each coin.so. Is your 2008 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth $3.3 million? Unfortunately, no. But that doesn't diminish the joy of the hunt. Keep checking your change. You never know when you might find a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin values and want to learn more about coins worth money, strategies for collecting, and the fascinating history behind them, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's uncover more treasures together. Hey folks, imagine this. You're digging through some spare change at the coffee shop, and you spot an old penny. Nothing special, right? But what if I told you that one tiny 1976 D. Lincoln penny, just like the one you almost tossed into the tip jar, is worth a mind-blowing $3.4 million? That's right, $3.4 million. Now, if you're thinking, oh, great, another one of those check your couch cushion stories, I get it. But trust me, this is real, and you need to hear about it. Because someone out there, maybe you, could be holding onto a coin that turns a few cents into early retirement money. Today, we're diving deep into what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot one, and why collectors are willing to pay a fortune for it. Plus, I'll share a personal story about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin, and you do not want to make the same mistake. So, let's get into it. Why is this 1976 D penny worth $3.40 million? All right, let's talk about why this tiny coin is pulling in Hollywood level money. The 1976 D Lincoln penny is no ordinary penny. It's a rare mint error, and coin collectors go wild for mistakes. Think of it like a misprinted baseball card or a rare bottle of wine. The imperfections? That's what makes it priceless. Now, the exact details of this error coin are kind of a mystery, but from what experts know, it's likely due to a double die error, an off-metal strike, or a wrong planchet being used at the Denver Mint in 1976. Whatever happened, it created a one-of-a-kind coin, and collectors are obsessed with one-of-a-kind coins. And that's where the big money comes in. When only one or two exist, collectors start bidding like they're at an auction for Elvis's lost guitar. That's how a penny, a coin literally worth 1 cent, turns into a multi-million-dollar payday. How to spot the million-dollar 1976 D penny now? I know what you're thinking. Okay, how do I know if I have this golden ticket of a penny? Great question. If you want to know if your 1976 D penny is worth serious cash, here's what to look for. This rare penny was made in Denver, so it must have a little D mint mark below the date. If there's no D, sorry, it's not the one. Some of these rare error coins were struck on the wrong metal. If your penny looks more like a silver dime than a copper penny, you might be onto something big. Strange lettering or doubled images. A doubling effect on Lincoln's face or the words, "In God We Trust," could mean you have a valuable double die error. A regular 1976 D penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's way off, you might have an ultra-rare off-metal strike. If your penny meets any of these criteria, do not spend it on a cup of coffee. Get authenticated by a coin grading service. Now, let me tell you how I almost lost out on big money a few years back. I was cleaning out my car, fast food wrappers, old receipts, loose change everywhere. I wasn't really paying attention, just dumping coins into a jar. Later that night, I noticed one penny looked a little off, shinier, lighter in color. I picked it up and, out of curiosity, Googled some rare coin errors. Turns out, I was holding a 1943 steel penny, one of the rare ones. Not quite a $3.4 million find, but still worth hundreds of dollars. And to think, I almost tossed it into a Coinstar machine for grocery money. Always check your change. That little habit could be the difference between finding pocket change or pocketing a life-changing fortune. So, folks, before you let another penny slip through your fingers, give it a second look. If you have a 1976 D penny lying around, check for errors, weigh it, and get it authenticated. Because you never know, you might be holding on to millions of dollars without even realizing it. And if you love learning about valuable coins and want more tips on finding hidden treasure in your spare change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next big coin that could be hiding in plain sight. Now, go check your coins and I'll see you in the next video. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. What if I told you that a single penny from 1967, one you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth a life-changing $3.50 million? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. Imagine this. You're at the grocery store, digging through your pocket for some loose change. You toss a penny onto the counter, completely unaware that you just gave away a fortune. Meanwhile, the cashier picks it up, takes one look, and faints. You just tipped them more than $3 million, and you didn't even know it. That's the kind of mistake we don't want to make. So today, we're diving deep into the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Why it's so rare, what to look for, and how you can find one hiding in plain sight. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you might just have a reason to start checking your couch cushions. All right, let's start with the basics. The 1967 Lincoln penny was struck during an interesting time in U.S. minting history. If you know your coins, you might have noticed that pennies from 1965 to 1967 don't have a mint mark. That's because the U.S. Mint temporarily removed mint marks to discourage coin hoarding. So technically, all pennies from 1967 have no mint mark. But not all of them are worth millions. What makes this particular 1967 penny so special? This specific coin is an error coin, an absolute unicorn in the world of numismatics. Experts believe that only a handful exist, and most people don't even know they're looking at a potential fortune when they see one. It was struck on a silver planchet instead of the standard copper one. Yep, a silver penny. Imagine that. Someone at the mint either made a mistake or decided to leave behind a hidden treasure for us to find. So how do you know if you're staring at a multi-million-dollar penny? A regular 1967 penny weighs about 3.11 grams. But this rare one, it's lighter, closer to 2.5 grams. If you've got a digital scale, weigh your penny. If it's off, you just might be in business. If your penny looks a little too shiny, don't get too excited just yet. Over the years, some folks have plated pennies in silver or nickel to make them look special. But if yours is actually struck on a silver planchet, it's the real deal. A magnet test can help. Real silver won't stick to a magnet. Ever dropped a silver coin on a hard surface? It has a distinct ring to it, unlike copper, which sounds dull. If you have a suspect penny, give it a gentle drop test and listen closely. Now let's talk money. The most famous 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny sold for an astonishing $3.50 million at auction. Why? Because collectors go wild for one-of-a-kind errors. And since there are so few of these out there, competition is fierce. That means if you find one, you're not just holding on to a lucky penny, you're holding on to a jackpot. Even if yours isn't in perfect condition, it could still be worth thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands. And if it's in pristine shape, well, you might just be the next millionaire in the coin collecting world. That I actually learned this the hard way. Years ago, I found a weird-looking penny in my grandpa's old coin jar. It was shinier than the rest, so naturally, I did what any clueless kid would do. I used it in a vending machine. A week later, I saw a coin just like it in a collector's magazine, valued at thousands of dollars. Let's just say I've been checking my pennies ever since. Lesson learned. And that's why I always tell people, don't overlook your change. That little coin sitting in your junk drawer could be your golden ticket. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, now you know one tiny 1967 penny could turn your world upside down. So the next time you get a handful of change, take a second look. You never know what you might find. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets to share. And if you've ever found a rare coin yourself, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story.